Brosplay. Well, what were we just talking about? Oh yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
I saw a spoof, and you know how the Powerpuff Girls, Powerpuff Girls,
Powerpuff, yeah.
how it starts: sugar, spice, and everything nice.
Yeah.
These were the ingredients to make the perfect little girls. Well, I saw this meme, and it was like salt, salt, and even more salt. These were the perfect ingredients to create the world's best crybaby.
Salty is such a great word for. It's like you're not like. It's like when someone's like, "Hey, oh, fuck, I'm trying to come up with something." It's like, "Did you want anything from the
Convenience
help
store?"
me?" Yeah, and it's like, "Yeah, for you to turn down your music at night." It's like that's salty. It's like you're not. It's not like full on anger. It's like a little bit of
Well, it's like saying you're pouting. It's like,
Right,
oh, you little salty. Gotta bail.
You ran yourself over. Nice crawl, kid. Why do I keep calling you kid?
Why am I crawling on fire?
I have never said kid to somebody.
Until now.
Until today. Also, this is 3 episodes in a row where we have started from the same spot. I fucking love it.
Oh my god, it's true. It's
so to end my thoughts on Dexter, Rita is meant as an obstacle for Dexter, but upon like 5 viewings, I realized she's a fucking dick. Like, she tells him to do things and he does it, and then she gets mad about it. It's really fucking dumb. Or she'll like do that really like.
Yeah, but people do that. That's like real person behavior.
Well, she'll do that gross person thing where they're like in their world, they're living in this fucking perfect vacuum where everyone understands their intentions, and they're like, I thought you were gonna pick that up, so I picked up the other thing. Like, she does that all the time, and it's meant as this like conflict where Dexter has to figure out how to live with this person, and the whole time I'm like, stop loving her.
Yeah,
she's an asshole.
Yeah, it's common though. That's how people fucking behave.
Oh, people are dicks for the most part. Well, I like most of you. Hey, if you're watching this show, you're slightly less of a dick than the rest, and that's okay by me.
There was a Canadian politician. He tweeted a meme. So it was like it was a really bad meme. It wasn't funny at all.
Was it retarded, or was it not retarded? Autistic screeching?
No.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what that is, but people keep tweeting it.
Okay. Well, I did see one where someone texted a random number this picture, and it was like a face stretched out over like the shape of an acoustic guitar, and it was like, when your child's born acoustic.
Oh.
It's such clever wordplay. I can't help myself. But this Canadian politician posts this meme, and it's not funny at all, but it is. I mean, it's kind of clever if you're into that, but I just didn't think it was funny. And then someone mentioned something, like they just kind of make fun of him, and he's like, the Canadian government is currently working on an operation where we're trying to extract the salt from my haters to apply it to the roads.
Oh, fuck. Do you know Ontario is the only province that uses salt in the roads?
Yeah, it's pretty barbaric.
Yeah. Barbaric!
Barbaric! Hear me! Barbaric!
What's the other thing he says? What's the other, like, meme thing he says?
How could you be so cruel?
The children!
Barbaric! If you haven't seen Robert Boyd Barbaric, you're missing out. These poor souls.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. May God help these poor souls.
Something I'm really not a fan of is when you're trying to do a pun or a punchline and somebody fucking does it. And it's like, get the fuck out of here, kid. All right, that's a good use of kid.
What, you think I'm your setup guy?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, and I get that some people might think he wants me to be part of this. But no.
And then she shat on a turtle. That's probably what they're thinking is gonna happen.
Well, they're like that person. You know how often I hear it listening to Joe Rogan. The Joe Rogan experience is that he talks all the time about hecklers. And his I don't know if it's his theory that I've heard is that oh no,
Fuck.
oh no. What the fuck game?
God.
Did you see that? That ran in 60 frames a second for 1 second.
Gentle slopes, my gosh. My gosh.
Drop zone is not clear. Well, I guess you better get I don't know, what's
Better get clear.
oh shit. That's not what I meant.
Wait, what did what were you saying about people from Joe?
You better get Periphery's third album.
Clear?
Clear. I don't think it was actually called that. That was a good joke name. Anyway, he was talking about hecklers, and my theory, or maybe it's his theory, is that people who get involved, like the ones who are like, yeah, man, I've heard of that. It's like, you're not part of this. Stop it. Those people might actually, like, the comedian might be so good that they feel like it's just them. Like they're just hanging out. The same way that some people may, like, the way that I didn't realize how I did not know Dan Avidan until I was right in front of him in Toronto.
And then it became immediately obvious.
Holy shit, that's actually Dan Avidan, and the version that I know is from a TV show. Not a TV show, an internet show. I don't actually know Dan, and even more poignant is he does not know me at all. That was the first time he ever met me.
Yeah.
I have listened to hundreds of hours of him talking, and he had just listened 2 minutes.
Imagine how weird it is being the other guy.
Oh, on that side, where someone's like,
Yeah.
hey, I know you're really into this thing. It's like, oh shit, how do you know that?
Well, like, oh, how's your wife?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
That would be weird,
Like,
man.
People who are behind, too, imagine if it's like, hey, I'm having this problem, and then they think we're still having that problem, because they're like really behind on episodes, or the episodes are like, the episodes are actually months behind. We record more than there is
It's a different phase of our life.
recording, yeah, so it's like, hey, how's that thing going? Like, oh, I haven't thought about that in months.
Yeah. That thing is dead in the water, if
Yeah.
you must know.
Yes, actually, it is, all of it is gone. Burned it to the ground.
We are dead. We are both dead. That is the end of it. We are, in fact, not even here. This is, you are remembering us. You are fantasizing that we are at this show with you.
That's kind of a weird, morbid thing to watch somebody that you know is dead.
Like on video?
Just anything, yeah. Like to just listen to someone and know like that person, their existence exists only in the moment where you choose to listen to it.
That's deep.
But outside of that, they don't exist.
Fuck yeah.
That's what's so interesting about music, is that it's an image is always there and you can study it, but with music or video you have to watch it to understand it, which means it has to be moving forward, which means it takes time, always takes time. Like if you and I were, I don't know why I decided to do this, if you and I were just every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday uploading a picture
Okay.
I could just look at that and figure it out and move forward. But in order to go through, like, there would be no determined amount of time that it would take to go through that. It could be a long time, it could be a short time. Whereas with these, I go through all the episodes, which means it takes at least the amount of time that the episode takes.
Yeah, at bare minimum.
It has to. It always has to. Unless, I'm sure there's going to be a point where I become confident enough in what we do that I don't feel like I need to watch it. But watching it also helps me, because every time I come up to a cringy moment, something that even at the time of recording it, I'm like, ugh, it makes me better as a creator, because it reminds me, like, okay, that either that was a bad time to do it, or let's just not talk about that altogether. One thing that I really cringe is when I make assumptions about famous people. Like, and I'm like, oh, that guy, like, probably thinks this.
And it's like, what are you basing that
Yeah,
off?
and I'm watching it later, and I'm like, how the fuck did you think you knew that? It's like, just stop talking. Stop talking.
Sometimes I like just bullshitting. Sometimes it's like not a problem. But yeah, sometimes you not you specifically, but people in general like assert themselves a little more than they're maybe
Yeah.
like actually comfortable with.
Well, I like it when
You know, like I'm
obviously
pretty
joking.
sure of things, but I'm never 100% sure.
Right. Well, it's like when I'm obviously making a joke. I'm fine with that. I don't have any examples, but I don't like it when I'm. Holy fuck.
Yeah, and that was tight. Oh, I can't get in this one.
I don't want to put any pressure on you, but I will I will lick a duck's anus if you don't win this.
I need a cruise missile though, so if I bring this thing down when I'm too close, we may lose again.
Did you know that ducks are ducks commonly? Why am I bringing this up?
Ducks or mallards?
Just ducks in general. They have sex with dead bodies of ducks.
Okay, why are you bringing this?
Yeah, exactly. Why, like halfway through, I'm like, okay, you know what? I easily could have. See, this is an example of me being like, what are you doing? I could have made that better by being like, did you know that a duck's quack has no echo?
It has no echo?
Yeah.
How's that possible?
It's not actually. It's a fucking
it's
legend.
bullshit stat.
It's a myth. Today on Myth Bros.
A myth, agent.
Yo,
Piston headed
you're getting
your
shot,
way.
bro. All right, ditch it. Don't. You're in the red. Don't go in the red.
This cruise missile is gonna.
It's gonna
turn
blow.
This thing. Yeah, it's gonna blow.
I really want to watch it though. Yes.
Whoa, okay.
It was such an explosive round that it wow.
Shit, should I just kill this fucker and verify him?
You only got like one dude on the left. You could probably go for it. Okay. What is he doing?
Not much.
This is one of my favorite animations ever.
Yeah,
It's
punch
so
in the
goofy
face.
and rigid. I love it.
But the one from behind is way better. The one that's like punch in the head, punch in the head, punch in the head, punch in the head harder, and then he's out.
We gotta go.
Oh shit, is that what's...
Shit,
Oh, there's a guy on the roof and a helicopter. I want this. No, I don't. I wanted the gun.
I also love how this is an era where cinematics caused you to be invincible.
Yeah, and the enemies are even invincible during cinematics.
I would drop this guy.
Did my helicopter not come in?
No, he said the landing zone was unsafe.
Ah.
It's because of this fuckface.
No, it's the landing zone's only based off ground space. Yeah, the landing
Well, look
zone is
at
not
you
clear.
with your fucking landing zone knowledge.
I have played a lot of this game.
What are you, some sort of landing zone knowing?
I really don't think they should have the guy start running in an area where there's no landing zones.
Fuckface.
Like, it should be obvious that there's no landing zone.
This is unfortunate.
Yeah, this fucking helicopter.
There you go. There you go. Oh no! No!
Oh.
Ah!
Hide, 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 hide.
Get behind the fucking dumbass rocks.
But
He's behind you. He's behind you.
yeah, but I don't want to get
think
behind these rocks.
Yeah, go for the dude.
Oh
No!
my god. My god.
This is fucking dumb, actually.
Yeah, this is kind of dumb.
This is a bad design decision. Let's retry and find out where we go.
What do you mean? Oh, we totally go to the beginning.
Every
what are you
time.
talking about?
Every time. There's no checkpoint.
No, there's no check. This is not a checkpoint type game. Oh, okay. So, we can't buy helicopters yet, I don't think. And even that wouldn't really help us. This is a ridiculous mission.
You know, they say that you can't buy happiness, but you can buy helicopters.
And a wave rider.
Facing an army, our dedicated technicians can reroute
Our dedicated.
an allied boomer to your target location and deliver your 12 turns of bullshit.
We delivered to your target location.
I almost peed myself. I've been holding it since episode 23.
Target lurget. Are we in the 25th?
Yes.
Well, you gotta not hold it in. That's bad for your kidneys.
Okay,
this
dude.
These vehicles are stupid. Have you noticed I can't handle these things?
Oh yeah, is that a pun? Handle?
It is now.
Do you know what osteoplasmosis is?
No.
I don't know exactly the process, but when you hold your pee, eventually I think it's like the salt not getting out of you or something like that, but you can die from it. You can actually die from holding in your pee. And it happened on a radio station. Do you ever hear about that?
Well, the woman died from drinking too much water.
Yeah.
Was that the same
no,
thing?
that's what it is. Sorry. Yeah, that's what it was. She drank too much water. That's
Yeah,
right.
you can definitely OD on water.
And the
which
shitty
is
thing was that
weird.
somebody called them and said, hey, stop doing this. Someone's going to die.
And then she died.
And then somebody
She
died.
promptly died. I'm glad I got out of that vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh, pieces of it went over the fence.
See, there's another cringy
Open
moment. See, I can
up.
own up to it. That's the difference between me and a lot of people. Is I can immediately tell you about how I already cringe at me bringing up fucking... Why do I bring up dying people? Why is there like a... It's a fucking fun show. And Mitch is like, have you heard of osteoplasmosis? You can die from it. Exciting.
Yeah, but sometimes serious things are necessary for comedy. I think that's part of why I find Brian Callen so funny. He'll find a way to laugh at anything.
Brian Callen's hilarious. That his taking a shit in the backyard story is so fucking funny. Have you heard that?
I don't even know if I've heard that.
He tells it to Joe on a deer hunt. So the entire thing is
okay.
whispered.
Yeah, okay, I have heard this.
And then I'm like, don't go in the backyard. It's fun. It's actually like telling it in that context that makes it a
Way
lot funnier.
funnier.
Because the dude that's with them, who's like super serious, is also laughing.
One story that I don't know, even though it's always talked about, is the Machine story, Bert Kreischer's story.
The Machine.
So
story.
apparently Bert Kreischer has some story. It's called it's called the Machine story, and that's like I guess the name he goes by sometimes. And it's apparently so funny that it's like almost overshadowed his stand-up. Where like people will come to his shows and be like, "You're gonna tell the Machine story tonight, right?"
Have you seen the Ron White podcast recently?
Yes.
He talks about like I think he was he referring to the potato salad, like Ron Tater Salad White bit? Because he was saying people always want to hear it.
Yes, he was referring to
Okay, yeah, because I missed that part, and then I just started listening when he was telling the story about telling the story, and he's like, I'm doing this special, or I don't know, like an anniversary thing, and I start off, he's like, you know, some people call me Ron Tater Salad White, and of course the crowd just fucking roars. But then they realize why I haven't been telling this story. It's a, like, 15-minute story you've already heard. And the funniest part is just the not knowing part. Like, you don't know what do you mean Ron Tater Salad White? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's funny once you learn what he means by it. And it was just such a great example of how like he gave them what they wanted, but then they realized they didn't want it because they've already heard that. That's a long ass story to know.
That's a long story to rehear. Like imagine if your unfunny friend was trying to tell you the story the second time.
Oh, I get it all the fucking time with people who are like they have to tell you like the whole story. They couldn't possibly just be like this one time. Me and my brother were playing Mercenaries, and he just kept cocking up this one level like 4 times in a row. Instead, they're like, so my brother Derek came over, and it was like 8 o'clock, and then we like got all the stuff together, and then we were like, what are we gonna play? And it was like Mercenaries 2, and I was like, I don't know, I might kind of want to play Battlefront. Like they would tell that whole fucking part, and it's like, what are you fucking telling me?
I know. I really want Spark Notes. I want everyone to do Spark Notes.
Yeah, like elevator pitch. Let's go. Like you have 30 seconds.
Yeah, it just to me, it's really annoying when a part of a story is told that doesn't need to be absorbed. That's like imagine walking in and your professor has all this information on a slide, and you're looking at him and you're saying, Professor, I feel like you have way too much information here, and he says, well, not all of it's relevant. Yeah. And then you say, Professor, why are you showing me things that are not relevant? You know, it's one of those weird things where if you put it in any other framing device, people will be like, yeah, obviously, like don't tell people shit they don't need to know.
Is it going to be on the test?
Yes!
Everything is going to be on the test. Because life is a test. Get it. Fucking get it.
Cocked that up
fucking
good.
Stop cocking
I
it.
almost...
No more cocking, brother.
Almost had fucking all the helicopters dead. Almost.
We have so many terms. Like, you don't want to be any genitalia. Like, you don't want to be a dick, you don't want to be a pussy, and you don't want to be an asshole. There's just nothing good going on down there. And yet, everything in life comes down to getting that dick, pussy, or asshole.
Yeah,
I did not mean for that to come together so well. But hey, come together.
But imagine like rather than thinking of it in terms of like anatomy, just think about it. I can't tell if this guy is right over this edge. He is right over this edge.
Fucking take it. Yes.
Fuck
Good
yeah.
day.
So think about it this way.
Bad day.
Would you want to be called a wrench? Someone's like, yeah, you're a fucking wrench.
Call me
like
ratchet.
Or a ratchet even, yeah. It's like, it's an insult because it's like they're calling you a tool, right? They're like, you're this thing to be utilized. I think it's the same way. It's like, you're not a person with a dick. You just are a dick.
Yeah.
You're just this fucking hard, smooth, useless thing.
Hard, smooth, and useless.
Well, I mean, maybe not useless, but hard, smooth thing, you know. Oh.
Oh.
You know what I don't understand? I have to use a cruise missile on this thing so that a guy will come out of it.
Yeah, that's
A
interesting.
cruise missile
Very
to
weird
bring
decision.
it down on his head.
This is a zoom in, right?
That is a man's head.
That movie was panned by critics and people, and I like it.
I like it too. I think we both like it because we like listened and watched to it as kids.
That's a big
watched
part of it, yep.
to it as kids.
Watch to it, listen
What
to it
the
as.
fuck is wrong with my brain right now?
So you were talking earlier about dark stuff. Weren't you talking? Oh yeah, like the dark part of comedy or dark bits mixed in with comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Neil Brennan's 3 mics?
No.
So he's got a.
Oh yeah, see, I've heard of this,
Heard
but I've
of
never
it?
seen it.
I was like, what's the point? But I get it. It's a visual. It visually demonstrates what he's doing, so that he doesn't have to explain it to you. It's actually fucking brilliant.
You want to just explain what the 3 mics are for?
Yeah, I'll explain who the mics and who Neil Brennan is. He wrote with Dave Chappelle, co-created The Chappelle Show as well as Half Baked, and I'm sure a number of other things that he doesn't tell people about. And you want to just kill this fucking dude instead of like.
Well, at this point, there's no reason to. Is this the right one?
Yeah, you got
Okay.
him. You got him. You're just gonna get fucking blasted as soon as you get out of this. So the 3 mics are, the left mic is for one-liners, the middle mic is for emotional stuff, and the right mic is for traditional stand-up comedy. And between each section, the lights turn off, and then the lights come back on, and he's at another mic, so you don't see him moving. So it's almost like a visual representation of everything he wants to explain to you that's coming out of his brain, and he's put it into 3 sections. And it's fucking brilliant, because I don't know if I've talked about it on the show, I'm a really big fan of Bo Burnham's Make Happy. Because it takes a very bold decision to go, or he takes a bold decision, to make you think introspectively about yourself, as well as recognizing that he is a person and has to go through all of the is this good, can I be doing better, all that kind of stuff. He reminds you of it constantly. And I really like that. And he even says, like, the last song of Bo Burnham's Make Happy is, Are You Happy? He's like, ask yourself, as a viewer, are you happy? And he just wishes that you can be. And I really like that. And in Neil Brennan's thing, the middle mic, emotional stuff, is really dark stuff. Like, stuff that doesn't actually have necessarily morals, but is just an explanation of who he is and things that have happened to him. And the last bit of emotional stuff is long. It's a long story that doesn't end well. It does not have a happy ending. It has no moral. It is just a story.
It's just emotional.
And it's such an interesting combination of comedy, because the one-liners are just like boom, 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 and then it just goes over to stand-up. And then stand-up is great. He's a really good stand-up comedian. And then emotional stuff is like, whew. And you're sitting there, it's quiet, and it's got little funny moments, but only because it's only funny because he's funny, and it's a comedy routine. So otherwise, no one would have laughed, because like they weren't really fun. They weren't funny stories at all. They were supposed to be emotional, but I was so impressed with it. Like, I remember just thinking about it for a while after I watched it.
Yeah, it's something I'll definitely have to check out. I was very impressed with Neil Brennan.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's great. Dealt with a lot of, well, not a lot of depression. He's basically just been depressed for as long as he can remember.
I think that was actually that's a podcast I was meaning to suggest to someone, but I couldn't remember the name. You've just reminded me.
His glasses, he's got those bottom of a bottle cap glasses. They're so big that I swear his
Bubbles
eyes.
glasses.
Yeah, I don't think his eyes are as big as they look.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, well, we finally did it, and we're done.
Yeah,
We did it and we're dead.
On a fucking low note.
On a low note.
Thank you for joining us. We didn't do the thing. I want to know how to do the thing better. As an editor, I have no direction.